Hello and welcome to The Wargamer, and you're joining me for my first in a series of videos in which I'll be looking at Scenics products. And in this video, I'll be focusing mainly on their static grass basing glue and then also some of their static grass as well. Now, static grass is an excellent basing medium. It's very simple to use and gives some really nice effects on your miniature bases and also some scenery that you produce as well. Now, this glue itself has actually been specially formulated for that very purpose. Normally, I just use PVA glue, but I'm going to be putting this through its paces in this video. So first of all, we have the bottle itself. This is a 500ml bottle here, and this comes with a screw cap here, so if you want to apply a lot you can unscrew that and just pour it out. It also has this nozzle as well. Now this nozzle has got quite a fine point, and if I just remove the cap here, you can see the fine point there, which means you can really get this into some crevices and cracks if you want to apply some localized glue to particular areas. So let's apply some of this glue onto a base. So here we have a 32mm round MDF base, and I've got my basing glue here. I'm just going to be applying some over the surface here in a few drops, and you can see it's actually got quite a watery texture, much more so than PVA glue, which is what I've used in the past. So just apply a small amount there. I don't want to apply too much. Now if I just bring in a brush here just to spread this out a little bit, just so we get a nice and even coverage across the surface of the base, you can see really how quite runny the material is, but it's actually incredibly sticky as well. It's probably more so than PVA glue at this consistency, and it really sticks really nice, as you'll see when I actually bring in some of the static grass. So that's the base covered. Let's get some static grass now, and I'll be using some of the Scenics Summer 2mm static grass here. And this comes in a 100 gram bag. I'm just going to get a clump out like so, and just start applying that over the top of the base. And you can see I'm being quite liberal in the application because this glue is incredibly sticky. You can actually get really thick coverage of the grass over the surface. So I'm just making sure I get it over there. I've just got a small piece of paper just underneath here to catch any excess, and I can put any remaining grass back into the bag. So I'm going to press this down slightly as well, just to make sure that everything's sticking very firmly and very evenly across the surface. And once it's done, you don't even have to actually wait for the glue to dry. It dries a lot quicker than PVA glue does. I'm just going to very gently tap off the excess, like so. You can see just how thickly the grass can be applied to the base. And you can see you've got a very nice, dense coverage of the grass there. Now, I haven't even actually painted the base, so you can't actually see the base through the grass. It's that dense. It's very nice, very strong. And if I actually bring in some an example of the grass that I've actually done previously. So this is very, very rugged indeed. This is using the actual the same glue. This has been dried. This has been dried for about an hour or so like that. So you can see it's very, very firm. I'm really quite vigorously rubbing my fingers across this, and nothing's coming off there, or at least very small amounts are indeed. Now, just as a direct comparison, I do actually have an example of this that's been done with the same grass, but instead I've used PVA glue. So if I just can put the two together there, you can see that it's a lot sparser on the PVA glue itself. You can see it's not quite as dense, not quite as thick, and if I apply them side by side, you can just see how much thicker the grass has been applied on this one here. So it's definitely superior to PVA glue in this sense. Now, one of the things that I've also wanted to do, as well as using it for static grass, I want to see how it held up to normal basing. So let's bring in some normal bases here. So here I have 3 different examples of basing, all of which have used the Scenics static grass basing glue. You can see I've got some sand here, and it's actually, again, really nice and thickly applied. I've actually got this lump in there. I've tried experimenting by applying quite a lot of the glue in one section here, and it actually makes this quite lumpy texture that you can see there. So rather than use completely flat along the base, it actually gives you some real nice definition in the terrain, and some deformation in the terrain there as well. I've also got some cork basing here. Again, very, very strongly applied, works just as well with other basing materials as it does with the sand and also the static grass. And finally, as an additional item, I've also used some balsa wood strips as well, just to apply them down to create this wooden floor. And again, these are very, very firmly applied. I mean, I'm going to try and snap one of these off now just to see how firm, and it's taken an awful lot, and I've only just about managed to bend it up slightly there. You can see, I mean, with a bit more effort I could probably pull this off completely, but it's very, very strong, very, very sturdy, even when I'm not using it on static grass. So I'm very, very impressed by the quality of this glue. Probably far superior to PVA glue in this sense. A lot stronger, dries within around about 10 minutes or so. You've actually got a workable substance that you can apply more layers to. You can paint, you can airbrush, whatever. It dries clear as well, which makes it really good because you can apply it over the top of painted areas and it won't actually ruin your paint job. So that's the actual basing glue in action. Really nice, really strong, and let's get an overall summary for the glue. So that concludes my look at the Scenics Static Grass Basing Glue. It really is a fantastic product. It gives you far superior static grass effects than using PVA glue. And I mean, I used the exact same static grass and the exact same base. The only difference was the glue that I was using. It definitely was an improvement. It's also great because it's versatile. You don't have to just use it for static grass. I also made examples of the cork, the sand, and also the balsa wood. It sticks them down really strong, really quickly as well. It's not as fast as plastic glue or super glue, but also nowhere near as slow as PVA glue to get a solid dry. I mean, PVA glue I've used in the past can take upwards of over half an hour and up to an hour to really dry solid. This is workable within 10 minutes. It really is an excellent glue. Now the price of this is £10.50, which does put it higher than PVA glue would be, but considering how much better it is than PVA glue, I would highly recommend picking up some of this stuff. It just really is an excellent product. And I'll pop a link in the description below to take you directly to the Scenics website, which is where you can pick up some of this for yourself. Now be sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with any future videos I do for Scenics products, and also let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below as well. So until next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.